Welcome. I'm glad you're here. There is nothing you need to do now. Nothing to remember. Nothing to follow. You can let your eyes close whenever they'd like to. Tonight, we are going to take a slow walk through a city that lived a very long time ago. The city of Rome. Not the Rome of great battles or famous speeches. We'll leave those for the daytime. Tonight, we'll just wander through an ordinary day. The quiet, everyday things. The bread, the streets, the warm water of the baths. The small details of a life lived 2,000 years ago. So settle into your pillow. Let your shoulders grow heavy. Let your breath slow down, just a little. And we'll begin, gently. Imagine the sky over Rome, just before dawn. It is the pale grey of early morning. The kind of light that has no edges yet. The streets are narrow and made of large flat stones, worn smooth by years and years of feet and cartwheels. Between the stones, a little dust has gathered. The city is only just beginning to stir. A baker, somewhere down a side street, has been awake for hours already. His ovens are warm. The smell of bread drifts out into the cool air. Soft, round loaves, some flavored with a little salt, some with herbs, a few with olives pressed into the top. A cart rolls slowly past, pulled by a tired ox. By law, in the busiest years, heavy carts were only allowed through the streets at night and in the very early morning, so that the daytime roads would not be choked with them. So the driver moves quietly, half asleep himself, swaying with the rhythm of the wheels. The buildings rise up on either side. Most people in Rome did not live in grand houses. They lived in tall apartment blocks called insula, which simply means islands, because each block stood surrounded by streets on every side. Some of these buildings were 5, 6, even 7 stories tall. The higher up you lived, the cheaper, and the longer the climb. The wealthier families took the cool, roomy ground floors. Far above them, under the roof, were the smallest rooms of all. A single space, perhaps, with a window and not much else. From an upper window, someone hangs out a bit of laundry. Below, a stray dog stretches and finds a warm patch of stone. A cat watches it from a doorway, in no hurry at all. The streets begin to fill, slowly. A water cellar, a man carrying a stack of wax tablets, 2 women talking softly as they walk. None of them are rushing. The day is long, and there is time enough. We'll walk on, past the little shops just opening their shutters, past a wall painted with election notices and the occasional bit of cheerful graffiti, past a fountain where water trickles endlessly from a worn stone spout, fed by the great aqueducts that carry it down from the distant hills. The sound of that water is soft and steady and constant. Let's step out of the street now, through a doorway, into the cool quiet of a home. This is the house of a comfortable family, not rich, not poor. As we step inside, the noise of the street fades behind us. The Romans built their homes to turn inward, away from the bustle, toward a calm space at the center. The first room is the atrium. In the middle of its roof is a square opening, open to the sky, and directly below it, set into the floor, is a shallow pool called the alluvium. When it rains, the water falls gently through the roof and collects in this little pool, and the soft sound of falling water fills the house. The light here is gentle and grey gold. The walls are painted, deep reds, soft yellows, scenes of gardens and birds and far-off landscapes. The Romans loved to paint their walls with windows that looked out onto places that weren't really there. The floors are made of small tiles, sometimes arranged into patterns, sometimes into pictures. A dog by the door, a border of leaves. Underfoot, the tile is cool and smooth. There isn't much furniture, by our standards. A few wooden couches, low to the ground, for reclining. A small table or two, with curved legs carved to look like animal paws. A wooden chest, where the family keeps its valuables and its folded clothes. A bronze lamp, burning a little olive oil, with a flame no bigger than a fingertip. Everything is simple. Everything is in its place. The house is quiet and cool and still. By the middle of the day, the household grows hungry. The Romans did not eat the way we do. Breakfast, if they had it at all, was very small. A bit of bread, perhaps, with some olives, or a little cheese, eaten standing up without much ceremony. The midday meal was light as well. Some bread, cold meat or fish left over from the day before, cheese, fruit, figs, grapes, apples, depending on the season. A handful of olives, nothing heavy, nothing that would weigh you down in the warm part of the afternoon. For many ordinary people in the city who lived in those tall apartment blocks with no kitchen of their own and no safe place for a fire, food was simply bought ready-made. On nearly every corner, there was a thermopolium, a small shop with a stone counter facing the street, and large jars set into the counter, kept warm, full of stews and porridges and spiced wine. You could stop and lean on the counter and have a warm bowl of something simple and watch the street go by. Then carry on with your day. The grandest meal came later, in the evening, the cena, but that is hours away yet. For now, the city pauses. The sun is high, the stones are warm, and many people, having eaten, find a shaded place to rest for a little while. It is a good idea, resting in the warm part of the day. The Romans understood that. There is no need to be busy every hour. Sometimes the wisest thing is simply to be still. In the afternoon, we'll follow the quiet crowd toward the baths. The public baths were the heart of daily life in Rome. Almost everyone went, rich and poor alike, nearly every day. It cost only a small coin to enter, sometimes nothing at all. It was not only about getting clean. It was where you met your friends, heard the news, exercised a little, and let the cares of the day soak away. We step inside. The air grows warm and damp. There is a faint echo of voices and of water, softened by the high ceilings. First, there is a changing room where you leave your clothes in a little alcove. Then, you might begin in the tepidarium, the warm room, just warm, pleasantly, gently warm. A place to sit and let your body ease and grow used to the heat. From there, into the caldarium, the hot room. Here the air is thick and warm as a summer afternoon. Beneath the floor and inside the walls, hot air flows through hollow spaces, warmed by a furnace, tended by workers you never see. The whole room is heated from below so that even the floor is warm beneath your feet. There is a large pool of hot water, and the steam rises from it slowly, curling up toward the ceiling. You sit. You breathe the warm, damp air. Your muscles loosen. The noise of the city, the stones of the streets, the climb up the stairs, all of it begins to melt away. And then, at last, the frigidarium, the cool room with its pool of cold, clear water, to wake the skin and leave you feeling fresh and light. Afterward, people would sit a while longer. Some had oil rubbed into their skin and scraped clean again with a curved tool called a strigil. Some simply talked, in low voices, in no hurry to leave. The light through the high windows grew softer and more golden as the afternoon wore on. The sun is lowering now. The light over Rome turns from gold to amber to a deep soft rose. The shadows of the tall buildings stretch long across the streets. The shops begin to close their shutters, one by one, with a soft wooden clatter. In the comfortable homes, the evening meal, the cena, is being laid out. The family reclines on their low couches, leaning on one elbow, eating slowly. There might be eggs and vegetables and a little fish and bread and fruit and honeyed wine. They talk quietly. There is no hurry. Out in the streets, the lamps are lit. Small flames, here and there, in windows and doorways. The city does not blaze with light the way ours do. As darkness comes, Rome grows genuinely dark, lit only by the moon and the stars and these small scattered flame. The carts begin to roll again. Remember, the heavy ones were kept to the night, and their wheels make a low, distant rumble somewhere across the city, but it is far away and softened by the dark, and there is something almost soothing in it, a sound that says, the world is still turning, and you do not have to do anything high up. In one of those small rooms beneath a rooftop, someone blows out their single lamp. The little flame goes dark. Outside the window, the rooftops of Rome spread out under the stars, quiet and grey and still. The fountains are still trickling. They never stop. All through the night, the water keeps falling, soft and steady, from the worn stone spouts. It is the last sound of the city, water, somewhere in the dark, falling gently and endlessly. And so, the day in Rome comes to its close. The bread has been eaten, the baths have grown quiet, the lamps are going out, one by one, across the sleeping city. 2,000 years ago, on an ordinary evening, people lay down to rest just as you are resting now. They listened to the same soft water, they watched the same stars. There is nothing more to do tonight, nothing to remember. The streets are dark and quiet. The water is falling, somewhere far away. Let your breath grow slow. Let your body grow heavy and warm, like the stones in the afternoon sun. Let the city and the day and every thought drift away into the dark. Good night.